Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn the next part of the same chapter, that is motions of the earth. And we are going to concentrate another very important part, that is revolution. Now, what is revolution? Revolution of the earth is the annual motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit. You can see how the earth is moving on its orbit around the sun, and it is moving in an anti-clockwise direction. You can also see the moon moving around the earth, which is the only satellite of the earth. Now the earth completes this revolution, which is a path of 940 million kilometers in 365 days and 6 hours. Now this 6 hours is ignored for 3 years and is added as one full day in the 4th year, which is known as a leap year. And the leap year has got 366 days. Now let's learn another two very important terms, and they are perihelion and aphelion. Now the orbit of the earth is not circular, it is oval. And the sun is also not centrally located. So sometimes the earth is very close to the sun when we call it perihelion, and sometimes the earth is very far away from the sun, which we call as aphelion. Now when the earth is at perihelion, it is 147 million kilometers away from the sun. When it is at aphelion, it is 152 million kilometers away from the sun. Now when the earth is at perihelion, it moves fastest, while as it moves away from the sun, and when it is farthest from the sun, that is at aphelion, then it moves the slowest. Now let's learn about the effects of the inclined axis and revolution. Now, since the Earth's axis is inclined, that is, it is having an angle of about 23.5 degree, so it has a very strong impact on several features of the Earth. Let's see how. The first being, due to the inclined axis, each of the poles presented alternately to the direct rays of the sun. From this diagram, you can see how the earth is, since it is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree, it is half of the earth is tilted towards the sun, and the Arctic Circle is facing the sun, while the Antarctic Circle is away from the sun. Now this is a time when the Earth's northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. That is why it is having summer. And all places beyond the equator will have shorter nights and longer days. Higher up, still shorter nights and longer days. And beyond the Arctic Circle, the sun never sets. That is why we call Norway to be having, or it is a land of the midnight sun. That is, Norway, a large part of Norway is beyond the Arctic Circle, and so one can see the sun even at midnight, while just the opposite is happening in the southern hemisphere. And since the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, it is having summer. The southern hemisphere during this time is having winter. You can see longer nights, shorter days. Still further south, still longer nights, shorter days, and beyond the Arctic Circle, the sun never rises. So it is in darkness for nearly 6 months a year. Now, because of the tilt of the sun, we have tilt of the axis on the earth, we have also learned that the length of the day and night varies. The altitude of the midday sun also varies. Let's see how. Now, the sun does not migrate beyond the Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cape Cancer in the north and Tropic of Capricorn in the south. That is why why this is because of the tilt of the axis. Had the tilt been straight, suppose this tilt would not have been there, then all places on the earth would have had 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. As you can see on the equator is right on the middle, so it is experiencing almost throughout the year the direct rays of the sun and 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. But as we move away from the equator, the midday sun goes on varying. And the last is the change of season. Now, because of the tilt of the earth, we have a change of seasons. Alternately, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere is facing the sun. Thereby, they are having summer and winter, about which we are going to study in detail in the later part of the lesson. Now, we all know that because of the tilt of the axis, there is a season. Due to the sun's migration also, we are experiencing the seasons. Now, let's see how. A few minutes back, I told you that how the sun's rays fall only till Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere and Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere. So when its rays are falling on the Tropic of Cancer, all places in the northern hemisphere experiences summer. That is why the summer solstice, which means the sun standing still. And this happens in the month of June. So when the sun's rays are falling on the Tropic of Cancer on 21st of June, after that it begins to move, or it apparently begins to move towards the south, which we call as Dakshinayan. While on the 22nd of December, the direct rays of the sun falls on the Tropic of Capricorn. After that, the sun begins to migrate towards the north, which we normally mention as Uttarayan, that is moving towards the north. Dakshinayan moving towards the south, while Uttarayan that is moving towards the north. And because of this movement of the sun, change in seasons occur. Now have a look at this picture. The same tree is shown at different seasons: winter, autumn, summer, spring. So these are the 4 major seasons, and how do they occur? That is what we are going to learn in the next slide. Now here we can see how the sun is over here and the earth is moving around the sun, and at what position it will be at different seasons. Since we all are living in the northern hemisphere, let us start from the northern hemisphere. Now, on the 21st of June, the direct rays of the sun is falling on the Tropic of Cancer. All places in the northern hemisphere is experiencing summer, and the North Pole is tilted towards the sun. Then we have July, August, September. The sun now begins to migrate towards the south, and its direct rays fall on the equator, and this we call as equinox. Have a look at this diagram. The sun's rays is falling on the equator. All places on the earth is having 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. This happens on 23rd of September. After September, we have October, November, December, and now the sun's direct rays are falling on the Tropic of Capricorn. We can see over here the South Pole is now turning or tilted towards the sun, while the North Pole is tilted away from the sun. So the northern hemisphere is having winter, while the southern hemisphere is having summer with longer days and shorter nights. Then we begin to move January, February, March, and the sun now after 22nd of December, which is the longest night, it begins to move towards the north, and its direct rays falls on the equator again, and we have another equinox on March 23rd. So on March 21st, we have the spring equinox. On 23rd September, we have the autumn equinox. So it is during this time that the sun's rays are falling right on the equator, and so everywhere we are having 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. So this is how seasons change, and it changes with time, and it has its impact on all the lives of which are present on the earth. So that is what we have enough time for today. Thank you.